All right, everyone, the Democratic Party continues to rip itself apart over these primaries. You see, what's happening is that Democratic insider groups, the moneyed sort of neoliberal elite, naturally, they don't want to work with progressives. Number one, I think on a pragmatic basis, they don't believe that they can win elections as easily in most cases. So they're campaigning against them. They're putting up sort of corporate machine money candidates against them to try to destroy them. They're even running nasty ads against them. There's a case in point link in the description to the Texas primaries for the Dems, and it looks like it backfired there. It actually elevated the person they didn't want to be the one campaigning there, I suppose. So it backfires. Big money no longer really talks as much as it used to. Now it's all about grassroots and social media craptivism or activism, things like that. The Democratic Party, though, is trying to lay waste to progressives, to younger candidates, to people who won't toe the party line. Basically, the sort of Democrats that you need to reform the Democratic Party, to make it palatable to the new generation, number one, and to disenfranchised white working and middle class Democrats in the Rust Belt, number two. The exact kind of people that could bring those back aboard the party are exactly the sort of people that the DCCC and all these other groups are attacking. No, they can't win the election. They don't suck down the corporate money. Well, yeah, corporate money is really great. It worked so well for Hillary Clinton. I would tell. Again, I've been saying for a year. The Democratic voters need to stay home or front progressives or switch over and vote third party or something and let the party collapse. Because they're going to do this. They're going to keep doing this. This will fuck them during the midterms. And if they're still in control, they'll keep doing it, and it'll screw them in 2020. If you want a second term of Trump, the easiest way to do that is to have a neoliberal run against him. Somebody who will run a very boring, formulaic campaign. It won't energize younger voters. It won't help with Rust Belt voters. You will lose. I guarantee you will lose. There'd be a 100% chance of a Trump victory. You'll have President Trump for a second term. Now, that may not bother me. I'm sure it bothers the average Democrat. Maybe undeservingly. Trump got those Rust Belt voters in part because he is a Democrat. He's a fucking Manhattan liberal. He just happens not to be way out there in social justice warrior land because he's not a progressive. I think that it's the palatable kind of Democrat is what he really is. This, by the way, hasn't won him brownie points on the gun issue with his own GOP. You know, the party, he probably flipped a coin when he decided which party he wanted to go to the conventions of years ago. So do I go to CPAC or DPAC? Flip a coin. Oh, okay, I guess I'm a Republican now. It's basically what happened in the Bush era. I don't think he was a big fan of Bush. He wasn't a fan of Obama. At first he's like, oh, okay, he's all right, I guess. Then the Clintonians get in under with him, and he's like, fuck this, basically. Back to Republican land. The Democratic Party, though, let me tell you the problem here. These Democratic groups that could be fundraising, like Trump has already begun raising funds. He's been continuously garnering more money. The GOP is awash in high amounts of cash, respective to in past elections. They've got more cash this time around. They've got the money. They don't need, by the way, to suck corporations off to get it. It's grassroots mainly. They got the money. They got the tailwind. Trump has recovered. Generic ballot is moving in a red direction. What are these groups within the Democratic Party, therefore, doing, wasting their time fighting their own candidates? They should take a hands-off approach and be raising money at the very least. The DNC is broke. They don't have any money. How are they going to wage a campaign in the midterms? How are they going to open up the purse strings for these candidates? These candidates have trouble making money. Look, the Vermont Democratic National Committee was broke a year ago. Now they're like, we still have no money, and the party itself is broke. A corporation, which is what the DNC is, just like the RNC is a corporation, is broke. No money. Nothing to spend. No advertisements. No little handouts to the candidates so that they can travel around in something other than their mom's car. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. Now, the Democratic Party thinks, of course, the remedy for this is to suppress the actual left, the progressives, the sort of social justice warrior side, and to keep using the bored old wedge issues. You saw Kamala Harris coming out, there will be reparations if the Democrats win. No, it's not going to happen. Number one, she doesn't give a fuck about you. Number two, the average black person in the country, yes, Kamala Harris cares about you. No, she cares about you enough to get your vote and then forget you exist. That's ultimately how the Democrats have done business. I think at this point some people are beginning to recognize it. The Democrats are in for a perfect storm. You've lost the Rust Belt, the working class sort of union Democrats. You are now about to lose the youth, and you may even lose some of the wedge issue voters to a third party. The Green Party might end up with 1 million votes. You're going to have huge problems. The Democratic Party, the DNC, the DCCC don't want to own up to it. And this is sort of like what happened with Hillary Clinton. Hillary's problem is she didn't want to own up to the fact that she wasn't as far ahead, she wasn't as well liked, and she wasn't as suave and as coronated as she thought. She didn't expect to have any legitimate opposition in the primaries. She did. It really made her stumble several times. Going into the general, she expected, hey, this is a cakewalk. I show up, I go fundraise, I make a lot of money, I pay back the corporate sponsors because they expect to be paid back, and all's well. Instead, those corporate sponsors, now that they haven't been paid back, aren't loosening up for the DNC. They're like, oh, yeah, we basically got defrauded. You assured us Hillary Clinton was a shoo-in. We spent millions and millions and millions of dollars. Where's our return? Oh, you can't pay us back? Oh, that's a little bit of a problem. I'm going to have to sit the midterms out, I guess, give you a little bit of punishment. And if they get punished enough, then the party reforms, becomes more palatable. Hopefully, like a phoenix from the ashes, it rises again in a new form. Maybe this time the Democrats won't be shitty like they are now. You know, I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope, but it could be a Democratic Party that actually works. You know, a party that's more like JFK and less like Bill Clinton with an intern or something. You got all of these Democrats as well. A lot of their big fundraising kahunas have been caught up in sex allegations. Weinstein, Spacey, all of these others. They were big names, big celeb and fundraising names. And then you got like Al Franken, a big name within the Democratic Party. He's fucked. Conyers, you know, a long-serving member, he's fucked. Has to resign. The Democratic Party's got so many problems. Everyone's always looking at Trump saying, oh, how weak he is and nobody likes him. Look at the respective approval of Donald Trump, who's somewhere, again, in the mid-40s or something, versus Congress as a whole and the Democratic Party as a whole. He's way ahead of you. That's not going to weigh in on him. Him being less popular than Obama, which is, by the way, hilarious. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect 2020, certainly. He'll repair somewhat. As you put a Democrat in front of him that he can cut to pieces, trust me, Democratic approval will go down. Yeah, you'll start out with an advantage. He will very quickly erode that away. He did it to Clinton. Hillary, I'm 15 points ahead, Clinton. All of a sudden becomes Hillary, I lost the election, Clinton. Now, how did that happen? I thought that Trump had a low ceiling. See, there's no such thing. The Democrats might be forming a ceiling for themselves, though. Between Trump egging you on and giving enough rope to hang yourself with on like DACA. Now, between him making you look like screwballs and the fact that you keep attacking your own primary candidates because they're too far left, my goodness, what a great way to alienate the left. By the way, there will be no blue wave. Texas basically has confirmed that, with Ted Cruz chuckling about it all day. That's about all.